What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Shonen Showdown. I'm your host, Rob, and sitting to the right of me is
Scott. Let's do it.
And today we're going to be going into Hunter x Hunter or Hunter x Hunter if you prefer to call it that. We want to discuss today the top 3 most powerful characters in Hunter, and we want to rank them for you. I already know my top 3 are ridiculous. I don't know about his, but let's just go right into it, Scott. Who is the 3rd most powerful character in Hunter x Hunter?
Well, going into this debate, you had to take into consideration many characters, on both sides. Good guys and bad guys. There's a lot of powerful characters in this show. However, I'm going to have to go for my 3rd place. This is kind of a mix-up. I don't know how you're going to feel about this, but I'm going to go with Ging Freaks as my 3rd place.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
Yes. Who you got?
The father of Gon. All right.
That's who I got.
All right. That's interesting. So I'm going to tell you right off the bat that you're wrong. Right. And it's actually, in fact, his son. The 3rd most powerful character in Hunter x Hunter is none other than Gon Freaks. But let us know why you think it is Ging.
Ging. Well, first of all, Ging created Greed Island. All right, That's like a huge game. That's a huge arc in the anime, probably in the manga as well. This is a place where powerful Nen users come to battle it out, test their strength against each other. Try to win recognition. All right, he created this game. Another reason that I'm gonna pick Ging is because what we've heard so far, even though we haven't heard a lot about him, we have heard that in his absence, he's been on the Dark Continent, all right? Fighting monsters, fighting God knows what. All we really know about the Dark Continent is that Netero is one of the few people to make it back alive. We also know that the Chimera Ants are from the Dark Continent, so he must be really powerful to be just chilling there for years, and no one knows where he is, and he's just hanging out.
Okay. A lot of interesting points that you mentioned there. But I want to go right into this. First of all, Scott, we're talking about the same man that got sucker punched by Leorio. What is Leorio's skill level?
Oh, here we go.
What is Leorio's skill level? Are you kidding me? You're going to pick him? Are you talking about Gon's lousy father? Listen, he is definitely a powerful Nen user. I'm not going to disrespect him on that regard. But what I'm going to get into is, do you think Netero is more powerful than Ging?
Yes.
So if you're going to say that, see, I personally think that Gon is actually even more powerful than Netero, and this is just a story of matchups. The 3rd most powerful character in Hunter x Hunter is Gon. Let's get into this. First of all, we know his skill level to be an enhancer, right? So Gon is incredible, but not only that, he has shown his most elite move, the Jajanken, right? And he has used that multiple times, even in scaring Moral, right? Moral was like testing him to see if he was worthy to be on the squad, and he was sweating. Killua had to stop him because he's like, all right, we don't want to take somebody's life this early.
You're right about
but
that.
There's a major point that I want to go into right now. I am going to talk about Pitou and the evolved form of Gon, which is now adult Gon. Oh my God! Let me just tell you this right now. Did we not see, while Gon is in the process of powering up, Pitou literally sweating, losing Pitou's losing cool right now. Has no idea what's going on. All Gon does is walk. He doesn't run. He walks away, and Pitou has the thought that, oh my God, Gon can actually go for Meruem right now. He can go for the king and kill the king. Has the power to kill the king. I gotta stop him immediately. While he's powering up, and Pitou even stated that Gon has a power that was equal to the king while he was in the middle of powering up. He didn't even finish yet. He did not finish powering up, and she had this thought. So now, with Gon being done, the fact that Gon was walking away, and she thought that Meruem was gonna be Gon was gonna be a big threat to Meruem, just proves that Gon's power level, even exceeds Netero, because Netero's fight.
All right,
with.
You know what? All right, I've heard about enough. I've heard enough. Okay, I'm gonna have to stop you right there. Okay, this is a case of the infamous Gohan syndrome. All right, you are talking about Gon's potential in the show. All right, if you forget, there's another 30 episodes after the end of the Chimera Ant arc.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
right.
Gon almost died from unleashing his potential in that one fight, all right? Yes, in the future, when he's an adult, he might be even stronger than that in the future when he's an adult. But right now, that's not a technique that he could bring out in every fight.
Right, but I'm not even. It doesn't matter. Listen. The adult Gon form is his latent potential, all exposed, right? So we can agree on that, right? And that he's one of the most, skillful enhancers that came out of that Hunter exam, of that lineup that year. We can also agree on that. So what I actually want to get into now is that if Netero wasn't even really seen as a huge threat to Meruem as much as Gon was to Pitou, that is a big indication of their differences in Nen level at that point when Gon transformed. That's what I'm trying to get to. I'm trying to tell you that Netero's battle with Meruem ended up in a draw. Netero had to die in order to beat Meruem. I think personally that Gon in adult Gon form, I think he could have beat Meruem in that form. You know what I mean? That's what I'm getting into. And I'm not saying that Gon is necessarily a more skillful or in his base state stronger than Netero. But what I want to get into is that Netero is actually an older, he's an older Nen user, or he was an older Nen user. So now Gon is fresh blood. He's young, right? His potential is through the roof. I mean, the possibilities are endless of where adult Gon could have, ended up. And I think, even though I love Netero, I appreciate what he's done for the game. I appreciate what he's done for the, the Hunter Association. I gotta give it to Gon in this situation. I mean, even Shoot was literally watching Gon approach Yuppie and was like, my God, this kid is unbelievable. There's nothing. His bravery is unmatched. His bravery is literally unmatched. That's why I think we have to understand the level of potential that Gon has, and once we respect that, he is the third most powerful.
Okay, I got a couple points. I'm gonna try to see if I can give you some vitamin D for the day, so we can continue this debate. Okay, first off, all right, you are trying to tell me that it is possible, right, for adult Gon in his potential form, in that state, to beat Meruem.
Yes.
First of all,
Pitou said that.
Power level wise, maybe. In terms of fighting experience, I don't think so.
Really?
I do not think that. First of all, we don't even know how long that form will last. Yes, it lasted long enough for him to destroy Pitou, but we don't even know for a fact that it would even last long enough for him to beat Meruem. We've seen his speed, all right? We've seen that fight between him and Netero. We've seen him attack thousands of times in the span of seconds. I do not think that Gon would be able to keep up in the sense that he would have a level of understanding of his newfound power enough to keep up with Meruem in a fight like that.
You're underestimating Gon's fighting potential and battle powers, because Gon has fought in more fights than Meruem. Meruem was literally just born like 2 days ago by the time he was fighting Netero, right? So now we're seeing Gon has been fighting in multiple battles throughout, his ventures of getting his Hunter license, right? Meruem has only been like, can I even say he's actually been in a legitimate fight until Netero? I can't really say. Gon has been fighting everybody else. So when it comes to that, I think Gon would actually even have more of an idea of how to handle Meruem. And even, we saw that in Meruem's fight against Netero, that he lacked, that battle experience. And even though it's a testament to prove how powerful Meruem really is, but because he lacked that battle experience, he still ended up losing to Netero later on. Actually, it ended in a draw. It ended in a draw because they both passed away. But I gotta give it to Gon in this situation. I mean, I think Gon would have walked out of there virtually unscathed until the drawback of the recoil of his. I mean,
I think you're going with a technicality on that draw statement. However, I am gonna address my second point, because that was a good comeback for that. My second point, you're forgetting that when you're saying Gon might be stronger than Netero, you're forgetting that at this point in the show, where Netero went to fight Meruem, it was said that he was operating at around 50% of his prime potential, right? That was not his full strength. That was his full strength in his old age.
Right.
But in his prime,
right,
he was at least twice that powerful.
Right. And I agree with that.
Yes.
In Netero's prime, I'm not having that discussion. Obviously, Netero is above this. But I'm talking about Netero in that old age state. I gotta give it to adult Gon, just because of, you gotta look how scared Pitou was. Pitou was literally like, oh my gosh, if I let Gon slip away, it's done. It's done. Meruem's gone. And I think the fact that Pitou had that thought proves that Gon was actually a super serious threat to Meruem, even a bigger threat than Netero was.
You know, that actually is very interesting that you say that. But I mean, one thing I want to throw at you: do you think that not adult Gon? Do you think that child Gon would be able to beat not prime Netero but old man Netero?
No, I couldn't. No.
All right, so that's exactly why I have in my number 2 spot old man Netero. All right, this is who I have for number 2. The 12th chairman of the Hunter Association is by far, in my opinion, the second most strongest in Hunter x Hunter. What do you think?
You're wrong. Are we talking about his prime, or are we going to be talking about?
We're talking about current state Netero.
Current state Netero.
Yes.
Yeah, you're wrong. The answer is actually none other than Kurapika. But before I go into Kurapika, I want to hear a little more why you have him number 2, because I got a lot to say about Kurapika. I mean, I have a lot to say about Kurapika.
I'm actually really interested to hear what you have to say, because I think you might have been taking a couple shots before this debate. But I'm really interested in what you got to say about that. First of all, Netero was once the strongest man in the world by far, undisputed,
right?
Champ.
Right.
Now he's operating at 50% power because he's old. But you still have to consider that even though he's operating at 50% power, he was the best person for the job to send to beat Meruem. All right? Even though he's that old, even though he's a chairman and he has underlings, you know, he's got squads, he's got people that he could send to possibly team up to fight. He's like, you know what? I'm not going to leave this in anybody else's hands. I'm going to go take care of this. Right? I'm not going to risk anybody else dying. Let's just cut the cheese. I'm going to go myself. All right? First of all, Netero, when he was young, he went up into the mountains. This is one of my favorite arcs, one of my favorite episodes.
Yes.
Right? He prayed and practiced punching, doing 10,000 punches a day. And he went from doing it in 18 hours to in less than 1 hour.
Listen, that Netero training program.
It took him a couple years.
That Netero training program is something serious.
Yes.
It's something serious.
I hope Saitama gets a hold of it one day and we see what happens. But besides that, when Netero came down from the mountain, his punch was faster than the speed of sound. All right? I don't know how Kurapika is handling this, but that by itself is enough to establish his presence as a top 2 nen-user fighter character in this show.
Right.
You also have to take into account that when he was fighting Meruem actually could barely keep up with his speed.
He couldn't.
He really could not keep up with his speed. Netero was actually able to attack Meruem 16 times in under a second. It's not under a minute, not under an hour, 16 times in under a second. That's seeing Meruem's trajectory, his path of attack, praying and striking 16 times a second. So with this calculation, you have to be able to assume that during his prime, he was able to attack 32 times in under a second. This is beyond anything that Kurapika has any chance of handling. I really want to know what you have to say about Kurapika.
Well, before I even go to Kurapika, what I want to actually go into is, you were ranting and raving earlier about how brilliant Ging Freaks is and how he's the third best, third most powerful. But if you're picking Netero at 2 and Meruem drew in a battle with Netero, have you lost your mind? Where would you put Ging in that equation? Do you think Ging can handle
Meruem?
Yes.
I don't think Ging could kill Meruem, no.
Oh boy. Alright. If you don't think Ging can beat Meruem, but Pitou thinks Gon can beat Meruem, then we're having a big problem. I'm already debunking your list right now.
Form Gon.
Now let me tell you guys something about Kurapika. We are talking about the sole survivor of the Kurta clan. Yes, and we are talking about the person that is he wants to avenge his clan because the Phantom Troop has went in there and murdered everybody for their Scarlet Eyes. Why? Because the Scarlet Eyes are some of the most precious items on Earth. Why? Because they give you special abilities, they enhance you, they make your physical ability stronger. Even Kurapika has proven, his base form, he's a conjurer, right? But once he gets those Scarlet Eyes activated, now he becomes a specialist and he can actually activate all 6 forms, all 6 disciplines of Nen. This makes him unbelievable. There's not that many Nen users that have that access to that ability. And if you are the member of the Phantom Troop, I don't care, because there's a little moment in time when I was preparing for this debate and I was thinking about putting Chrollo in this. But then I had to realize you cannot put Chrollo in here because as long as Kurapika still breathes, sleeps, and eats breakfast, Chrollo has no shot about making this list, even though he sits at number 1 in the Phantom Troop. Kurapika's his revenge and his hatred for them is so strong that he even considered teaming up with Hisoka to go after them, teaming up with the Mafia, and working with the Shadow Beast. Like, he killed Uvogin. Are you kidding? Uvogin is literally the best enhancer in Phantom Troop, and he thrashed him, and it was so easy. He was healing his arm mid-battle. Then you have Pakunada that literally got forced into a situation where she had to, commit suicide and lose to Kurapika's judgment chain because she broke the command. And this is the amount of pressure. Listen, Kurapika is putting pressure onto the Phantom Troop, and it is nothing like we've ever seen before. If you're a member of the Phantom Troop, I'm sure you have to sleep with one eye open, because as long as Kurapika is still alive, you are scared for your life. All right, this is how dangerous Kurapika is. He is a complete beast on all boards, all accounts, so I gotta put him at number 2 in the most powerful. And yeah, he set limitations, so he's not as powerful against other people as he is against the Phantom Troop
at all,
but he's still super dangerous. I mean,
to the Phantom Troop.
So not only the Phantom Troop, to everyone else. His specialist ability still works against everybody else. The only thing that he can't use against everybody else is that judgment chain, but or even maybe even the chain jail. But everything else, it's free. It's free. It's open game. So we're seeing Kurapika showing that fire, that will, and plus having the Scarlet Eyes. I don't see anybody else really, not to mention he's also a great strategist too. I mean, he was on the conversation with Hisoka and he was playing the whole thing. He had everything ready. He's a brilliant strategist, brilliant fighter, brilliant hunter at that. I gotta give it to him.
I mean, honestly, after you explained it, I could see where you thought he was number 2. I still have no idea how you can see him destroying anyone outside of the Phantom Troop. I mean, he is strong. I can see
very strong.
The Sharingan is powerful. However, it's really like, yes, he can use it in fights besides fights with the Phantom Troop, but I don't think his most powerful ability he cannot use against non-Phantom Troop members. Like, yes, they are a threat and they are very powerful, and he's strong against them, and he can, with ease, I would say, defeat their leader, the rank 1 Phantom Troop Spider, Chrollo. However, I cannot see him beating someone, for example, say the likes of Meruem, for example. I can't see that.
I can, because of those Scarlet Eyes. Scotty, there's something about those Scarlet Eyes that, listen.
You need to get a pair of glasses like me.
Listen, he is dangerous. And like I said, once he activates those Scarlet Eyes, now the whole floor is open. If he wants to be an enhancer, he can. He healed himself mid-battle, Scotty. Mid-battle. Yeah. Uvogin broke his arm and he was like, okay, heal. That was done. He didn't even feel it. So even in a fight with Meruem, like, I really don't know. Because if he can heal himself mid-battle, we all know Meruem can't do that. He's not indestructible. And
do you think Kurapika would have the strength to even damage Meruem at all? Because Netero could barely damage Meruem.
With Scarlet Eyes?
Yes.
I don't know, man.
Okay. Meruem took the zero hand, alright? Netero's strongest attack. It literally was a beam of Nen directly into Netero. Into Meruem, excuse me.
He was old.
Meruem just brushed the smoke off himself and was like, damn. That was a good attack.
But he was old though, Scotty. You gotta remember, listen, as you get older, you know, you lose some of your skill. You lose some of your
around 50% of his power.
Right. So that's what I'm alluding to now, is that I think Kurapika, you know, with those scarlet eyes, man. It's those scarlet eyes. I'm telling you guys, it is those scarlet eyes. When we see that, he puts that pressure, and yeah, he's even more dangerous to the Phantom Troop than he is to, you know, normal other Nen users. But he could still put in that work. He could still be a specialist and have access to many different abilities. And you know, it's only on 2 of his fingers, I think, that those abilities that he set limitations on that are only specific towards those Phantom Troop. He still has more fingers that he can work with. So because he's up there. He's up there. I gotta give it to him. I actually gotta give it to him. As I'm saying this even more, I think I'm convincing myself even more that Kurapika needs to be in this conversation.
You're clearly. You know what? Let's just. You know what? Who you got for number 1?
Who I have for number 1?
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people may not like this, but the answer is clear. It is cut as day. You gotta go with what?
I'm just going by your logic.
But by my logic, you gotta. Oh my gosh, I gotta cancel it. You're done, man. You're done. It is none other than Nanika, right? Something, aka the person that needs to be part of Aluka, Nanika, something, whatever you want to call this thing. You can't stop it. First of all, look, let's just talk about this. The Zaldic family has Aluka literally locked away in a room with all these types of devices to make everything hiding Aluka away. Why? Because Aluka is dangerous. Nanika is dangerous. You're talking about the ability to basically be a genie and grant wishes, but your requests have to be met and fulfilled. If you cannot fulfill the requests, you're done. The people you love are done, and depending on how grand the previous wish was, more people are getting added to that body count. So now we're going to be talking about, you know, anybody. I mean anybody. I don't care if you're a Netero, Chrollo, Meruem, Gon, Kurapika, Ging. I don't care who you are, how powerful you are. You will get squashed. You will get squished. You'll get drained out by Nanika, because Nanika is just something otherworldly at this point. I don't think there's anything that can really stop Nanika, even if, you know, Nanika doesn't have the ability to, you know, get into a fight. It does not matter. All Nanika has to do is walk up to you and say, hey, let me get your brain. And if you don't hand your brain over, you're done. That's it. Either way, the request can be fatal, guys. Let me be clear. Her request can be fatal. So it doesn't matter. If you don't fulfill the request, then you're done. And if you there's no way out. If I'm a Nen user in the show of Hunter x Hunter, I don't want to have any friends that work with that know Nanika. I don't want to be in love with anybody that knows Nanika. I don't want anything to do with if Nanika, get away from me. I want no business with Nanika, because you don't even have to even know anything. You could still get killed. So Nanika's dangerous. I gotta put Nanika at number 1.
Well, I knew you were gonna pick Nanika as number 1 because you have this obsession with her. And I admit that technically, according to the debate, she probably, quite possibly, is the most powerful person in that show.
Of course.
However, we have never seen her in a fight. Like, we've never even seen her battle anybody. All we've seen
Nanika needs to fight.
Requests. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So I don't even know if someone were to come up and try and kill her, would she request their brain? Like, before that person hit her, would she even know what was going on? Like, is it possible that, for example, my number 1 pick, the obvious pick, I'm pretty sure everyone else has this pick, Meruem, is it possible for him to
wait. And who's your number 1 pick for the most powerful hunter?
Meruem.
You lost your mind.
Yes. The man that beat Netero.
Oh,
the Chimera ant that beat Netero.
beat Netero.
Yes.
It drew. They drew in their battle.
This man is talking about a draw. First of all, Netero had to use his most powerful attack against Meruem. Meruem brushed it off. And was just hanging with it. The only reason Meruem died was because of the poor man's rose. The suicidal bomb that Netero had implanted in his heart that he set off when he lost that fight. Alright? That is the only reason.
Scotty, I'm pretty sure if you get into a battle with somebody and you die, you're not better than them.
If I get into a fight with you and I take out a grenade and lob it at you, that does not make me more powerful than you. Alright? That means you're dying. That doesn't mean anything to my power level.
Oh my goodness.
Meruem is the rank 1 in this show. I don't know. Like,
wow.
I mean, in all honesty, could Killua make some type of request and get Nanika to kill Meruem? Probably. But would Nanika have any reason, any like intention of killing Meruem? We've never even seen her have any type of political goals in the show. She's just hanging out.
Because Nanika is locked away. Listen, hold on. First of all, you're making my point with Gon sound even so much sweeter. But I don't even want to go into that right now because this is about Nanika right now. This is about Nanika's greatness. This is about Nanika's greatness. We have to remember, guys, right? We have to remember Nanika can request any kind of wish that Nanika wants.
That's true.
Any kind of wish. If Nanika goes up to Meruem and says, clap yourself and get rid of everybody get rid of Pitou, get rid of Shiapoof, get rid of Yuppie, and he doesn't do it, and that's the 4th request, we don't know what's gonna happen. We don't know. You got to remember this. So the fact that you even have Meruem over, that's I don't even want to get into that because
this man needs to rewatch the show.
I'm done. I don't know what else there really is to say.
Clearly,
I mean,
clearly confusing the whole point.
You've helped my argument throughout this debate, so I thank you, Scotty, for coming on here and letting me know why my list was correct. I've never seen anything like this. This is a complete 360. You just ranted and raved about Netero and then picked somebody that
the person that beat Netero. Yes.
Did he beat Netero?
Yes.
Really?
The only reason Netero had to even activate the suicidal bomb, it was a failsafe. He wasn't going there with the intention to die. He was going there to use that in case he wasn't strong enough to beat Meruem. And he wasn't. His dying words were, Meruem, do not underestimate humankind. And he set off the explosion. Alright? He did that because he could not beat him in a fair fight. I'm not saying Netero
and now you
cheated.
think Gon can't.
What, Gon can't beat Meruem?
Yes.
Adult Gon Prime? The
yes.
Gohan?
Adult Gon.
Teen Gohan can beat. I think, honestly, it would be a fair fight, and I would love to see that fight. However, that is a one-off chance. Gon already did that against Pitou. I don't think he's going to just become friends with Nanika and just be using that every 10 fights and just be like, all right, Nanika, like, come on, like, it's going
well, hold on.
Do you think
Killua
is feasible?
The X factor here is actually Killua, because Killua has that relationship with Nanika because his rules are actually a little different. This is the one person in Hunter x Hunter that has, that complete access to Nanika, that can request, a wish without worrying about, any type of crazy request back from Nanika, because he has that relationship with Nanika. He has a relationship with Nanika.
That is true.
So as long as Gon and Killua are still boys, I think, the opportunities are endless. Opportunities are endless.
Hold on. All right. Obviously, if they made a team 7, all right, and it was just Nanika, Killua, and Gon, obviously they would be unstoppable. Right?
You can't do anything.
Conveniently,
you can't do
Gon would be able to fight anybody, and if he was in any type of trouble, he could unleash his, max form, his max potential at any point in the fight, and just be immediately healed right after Killua went into Godspeed to take his body to Nanika, healed it, bring him back, and then he can do it again. Alright, obviously, that's feasible. Do I ever think Togashi would ever make that a viable story arc or plot tactic in any fight in this show?
I'm not going that far.
And that's why I'm not going to put Nanika as number 1 spot.
I'm not going to go that far, but what I will say is that Nanika can't be defeated.
But I'm saying with Meruem's speed, he would be able to kill her before she even knew what was going on. Like we both said before, she was locked away in this room for most of her life. She's not looking out for threats. She's not looking out for.
We don't even know if Nanika can be killed. Hanging out. We don't know. Listen, the Zoldyck family. Don't know that. The Zoldyck family is so afraid. Don't you think the Zoldyck family would have tried to maybe try to do something?
I don't think they would have tried to kill her. That is their child. I don't think that's why they just locked her away.
Nanika's not their child. Aluka is, but Nanika's not.
Oh, here.
They are two different. Yes, they are in the same body, but they are two completely different beings. All right. So if the Zoldyck family is afraid of Nanika to the point where they gotta lock Nanika away, that indicates to me that this is something that can't just be destroyed in a quick 1v1 fight or something like that. This is something that we gotta hold off until we understand a little bit more about it. This is something that Illumi.
Which is why I'm shocked that you have that in the number one spot.
Yes. Nanika has that power. This was ridiculous.
That's basically a wild card. I don't know. I mean, it's possible, sure, but I think it's highly unlikely.
Your list, I don't know what you, I don't know what you did. You just probably went on huntercharacters.com and clicked randomize at this point, because my goodness,
really rewatched
everything was out of order. You had Meruem. I can't believe it. But with that being said, guys, let us know who had the right list. I know some of you guys out there are gonna be like, both you guys are wrong. So let us know who are the top 3 most powerful characters in Hunter x Hunter, and also, tier them out for us. Let us know who's the strongest to the weakest. All right, and
also stay tuned. We're gonna have a police officer stop by, do an alcohol test on our host Rob here to see how many shots he took before this debate.
Wow, is that what we're doing? Is that what we're doing?
Please let him know what is going on. Please let him know which show to watch. All right, send him links. He might not be watching the right show. Please.
You're ridiculous.
You're ridiculous. Please do it.
You're ridiculous. You're ridiculous. You are absolutely ridiculous. And with that being said, guys, I'm gonna save you from Scotty. We're out.